And we're back. Mike Cernovich, DangeroPlay.com, Gorilla Mindset. Thanks for tuning in to the latest episode of The Right Mindset. We have a lot to talk about. It's amazing how fast things move when Trump is playing offense rather than defense. A lot of people got mad at me. They go, Mike, you overreacted to the General Flynn hiring. And I said, I've not overreacted to the General Flynn firing. Trump was on the defense. He needs to do a rally, press conferences. He needs to hit the media hard. People go, Mike, you overreacted. I go, trust me. So what do you know? There's a Trump rally planned for tomorrow, which Right Side Broadcasting Network will be live streaming. Trump went back on the attack against the media. So for those of you who haven't seen the tweet, it should load up here, nice and pretty wise on the screen, where Trump said the media is the enemy of the American people, which is true. Trump is starting to talk like we are, which I like. Trump is talking like we are. The press is not the opposition. And the press is not the good guys. What I find interesting is that people go, you're attacking the free press, Mike. Trump is attacking. These are multi-billion-dollar corporations. When did corporations become the good guy in liberal land? I think that's funny. So the free press, they can attack Walmart. They can attack any kind of American company. But the minute anybody attacks the New York Times or MSNBC or ABC, people freak out. These are multi-billion-dollar corporations. And by the way, not to sound like a liberal here, not to sound like Noam Chomsky, but have you ever looked at the concentration of media ownership? 90% of the media is controlled by 6 mega conglomerate, multi-billion-dollar corporations. So I really don't have any time to hear about people crying over the fake news media. So sad. White knight for multi-billion-dollar corporations. By the way, 2 important pieces of news tonight. Well, 3 important. One is that Milo is on HBO right now. I don't have HBO. People go, Mike, why are you doing your show at 7 p.m.? Milo's on Bill Maher. Well, because we do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. If we need to move the show to a different hour so that is better for you guys, then you got to let me know. A lot of people have said that they don't like me on Monday and Wednesday because Tucker and Hannity. You guys got to tell me. That's the whole thing. I deal with hate, death threats, people calling me the awful names, people attacking my daughter. Today I was told my daughter is a mud baby. That's the kind of stuff I deal with all day. So if you think the right mindset should be at a different time, I'm not going to cry. If you say, Mike, I want you in the noon. Mike, I want you at 3 p.m. I don't care. I'm not going to cry. I don't cry over any of this stuff. So any ideas you have to make the show better, I'm all ears. So if you're watching Milo on HBO and watching me on YouTube, hey, that's great too. We are going to have a call-in show. Bill Maher doesn't have a call-in show. We are going to have a call-in show. Something I want to talk about. By the way, I got a new chair. Not to be too ADHD on you, but the chair came, so if you see me rocking back a little bit, I got a new chair. It doesn't squeak. My old chair, people complained about the squeaking. I wasn't bothered by it. I got a new chair, and this new chair, it's a Herman Miller. It's the real fancy. I figured I'd reward myself with a good chair. All the work we did getting Trump elected. He deserved a good chair. I also went to the spa today. Far infrared sauna therapy in the salt room. I'm telling you. One thing Americans do wrong, especially American men. In Russia, Russian men are not thought of being as feminine. Nobody thinks Russian man feminine, right? When you go over to Russia, there are spas everywhere. There are saunas everywhere. But if you go to America and you say, hey, men, you need to have a spa day, you need to go to a sauna, they look at you as if that's weird. That is one thing that we do wrong in America. Go to the sauna. Get a far infrared sauna treatment into the salt room. It'll crack your joints in ways you wouldn't believe. Stretches everything out. Remineralizes you, leaves you revitalized. You got to do it. Spa days are not just for women. They're also for men. We're going to take some calls, by the way. We got a lot going on. We got a lot to discuss today. So we're going to take some calls right now. Why? Because people had said, Mike, they go, Mike, as much as we love you, don't take this the wrong way, but we love when people call in. We love to hear from the people. And I said, you know what? I'm not offended because I like to talk to the people too. I like to hear from you guys. It's weird. It might be weird to hear me saying this because I talk so much. I get tired of hearing myself talk. The reason I talk so much is because people seem to like it. But I would much rather hear from you than listen to me talk all day. So we got a caller on the line already from New York. How you doing?
Hey, Mike, how you doing? This me?
Yeah, it's you. How you doing?
Hey, my brother. Mike, really quick, a couple things on Trump fighting back, number one, which was what you opened the show with. It's really funny how the label of fake news has stuck to the media and stuck to the left so much harder than the Nazi Hitler term that the left has tried to give to us and Trump. I think Trump really has won that battle. I mean, fake news is becoming really mainstream. Today I said a joke to someone, and it was like a rumor about them, and he said, no, that's fake news. But it's really catching on. It's funny. Secondly, Twitter throttling the responses to positive replies.
This is true. We got to talk about this.
Tweets.
Yes.
And I know you've talked about this and you've mentioned this.
Yes.
Tonight on my Twitter account, I was on Trump's feed, and he happened to post something like 4 seconds ago. I was like, oh, I'll probably be like right at the top. I just wrote back, thank you, President Trump, for all you've done. You're the greatest. Literally, like just something like that. It was really simple. Instantaneously, I get a thing that says, my account has been, features have been disabled from your Twitter account. We are trying to protect Twitter and make it a safe place.
And no, 100%. People have told me for over a year, they go, Mike, when I followed your account for the first time, I was locked out of my account, and they told me the only way to get my account back was to give them my phone number. Twitter has been doing that to me for a long time.
They didn't even tell me that I was locked out of my account. They just said no one other than people who follow you will be able to see your response. I have like 900 followers or something.
Right.
But, you know, the fact that no one could see my reply to the Trump tweet, that's what they're doing, and how they're getting only negative responses to the Trump tweet. And it's really reprehensible. And then they say it's to make it a safe place for everyone. I mean, they are really a pathetic company. And I think that once Trump leaves, I mean, other than you, there's really no reason to be on Twitter, honestly. Everyone good is gone. If Trump ever leaves, they're going to lose like 30 million people instantaneously. Also, one other really quick thing that I want to get your thoughts on, and then I'll let you go. It's very interesting that AP release came out that ended up being fake news. I think it was a fool's gold tactic to flush out moles within the administration. Because obviously the Trump admin, you know, suspects like a handful of people that are potentially moles. So they basically put out this sensationalist story about, you know, Trump's going to use the National Guard, and they put this out. And basically I think that whoever leaked that was within this very specific group that had access to that memo, and it probably narrowed it down to a very few people. I think that was a strategic tactic by Trump to put that out and find out who leaked it to the AP.
Right. Here's the oldest trick in the book that a lot of people don't know. If I want to find out who is a leak in my organization, I'll have a memo, a draft memo written. 10 memos, and I'll send them out to 10 different groups of people. Each memo will have the font changed on one letter, but it'll be so different or so discreet that you can't even tell which font it's changed unless you ran it through like Adobe. So for example, you can make, with the right font, you can make a 1 look like an L. So if, for example, danger and play, if I wanted to in a memo, I would make that L in play, it'd be a 1, and I would change the font. But when you got it in the email, unless you opened that in Adobe Photoshop and inspected font, you wouldn't know. And then you give everybody 10 different memos, and then you find out which memo gets leaked out. So you're right. That was something that we were talking about. Yeah, I think it was a fake news. I think it had a double punch effect. One is that he's giving his own people fake news to spread. That will not only discredit the media, but it'll help smoke out the mole.
It will. And Mike, I don't know if you saw this, but it came out on Fox News. Soros is being investigated.
No, I didn't hear that.
You see this article? Yep. Soros is being investigated. Senators and congressmen. It's Mike Lee, the senator, and there's a congressman from New Jersey who's now getting involved. It's something to do with, and I really don't know the whole article. It's very complicated, but basically Soros is using U.S. tax dollars to fund an overthrow of the government, pretty much, in Macedonia. And it's being funneled through his open society. You got to see this article on Fox News. It's like the #1 article right now, but it kind of just came out. But he's being investigated for using U.S. taxpayer money through his Open Society Foundation to do these things internationally. And it's pretty funny because maybe this is the way the Trump administration figures they can bring him down. I don't know, but very interesting. So take a look at that, my brother.
Well, dude, thank you for the call as always. You've called before, right?
Yeah,
you sound familiar.
I've called a few times. I love your
I love
show.
it.
I've been following you since you had like 40,000 followers, Mike. And
keep
I
calling.
wish I was friends with you. I wish I could have a beer with you or dinner with you, but I'm here in New York City, and you're there, man. You're the greatest.
Well, I'm going to be in Washington, D.C. this Friday for an after party after CPAC. So Friday I'll be in D.C., so if you want to take the train down, you're welcome to.
Thank you, my brother. I got a little kid just like you.
Okay, gotcha.
But,
I understand.
Thanks, man.
Our paths will cross.
Mike.
See ya. It's great call. See, that's the whole thing. There's something that always has cracked me up about media, especially tech media. There was a concept for a while that was really going along, which was wisdom of the crowds. We can learn more from each other than one person. No one person can know it all. You need to talk to everybody. Find wisdom in the crowds, right, in the groups. And that's ultimately what I do. I crowdsource news and I crowdsource commentary. I can't keep track of everything. But you, by listening to that caller, I didn't even know anything about that story, right? So I don't. The trend now in media is to actually censor people, to close the comments. My trend is the opposite. Is I want to hear from more people, find out what they're thinking. Because even if some people are a little bit nutty, that guy wasn't, so I'm not hinting that he was, but even if you get bad info from people or people are a little bit goofy at times, hey man, they live with us. I would rather know what the nut jobs are thinking. Because if you censor the nut jobs, then that's when they sneak up on you. Right? I want to know what people are thinking. Everybody, even the maniacs. Let's take another call here. Las Vegas, Nevada, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Mike. Thanks for the call. Actually, I'm in Houston now. This is kind of in regards to the caller you had last show on Right Side. You can hear me all right?
Yep.
Yeah, he was talking about organizing something on college campus, and I want to let you know it's in work right now. I'm about to launch a website soon. What the goal is going to be, we're going to rally all the conservative and libertarian students to kind of act as like the anti-Antifa for when we bring a college speaker and actually do some kind of outreach. So I wanted to let that caller, if he's still listening, we're going to be basing it in Houston initially, and we'll expand from there. So I don't know. It was kind of in response to, I was going to get Gavin Pinnis on, and some leftist, an Antifa kid, posted on this Houston radical left board on Facebook with my picture, put my picture on there, and they're talking about violence against me. It was insane. I never had anything like it before.
Yeah, man. That's the thing. Once you're a public figure, a lot of weird things happen. But yeah, I like the idea, man. Stay safe out there.
All right, man. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. How you doing? You going to the Trump rally tomorrow?
Hello, Mike.
How you doing? You going to the Trump rally tomorrow?
No, man. I live in Fort Lauderdale area. It's a bit far away from me, but
Okay.
I wanted to talk to you, man. Can you just straight, just right off the guy that just talked about Soros, because I've been meaning to, I've been calling you for 2 weeks since your show started. I called you, last week, and we talked about Romania, but it got cut off because the tech wasn't working. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do remember that. You said that there were big, massive protests in Romania, and you were telling me to not believe them.
Yeah, well, basically, what happened is that it's very tied to the Macedonian thing that this guy was talking about, and it's also very tied to Ukraine. And this is very secret. Nobody's reporting about this. This could be the next big government takedown in Europe that could lead to some crazy war. And I want everybody to know about this because this is big. Nobody's looking at this, and this has all the signs that you have to see about a Soros. Basically, the Romanian government. I actually looked it up. I've been studying it. The Romanian government now has the Social Liberal Party, kind of like, like the same socialist party all over Europe. And, you got elected, they won the elections in December. And they won, and they put their government, and they tried to put this new law that would pardon a lot of corrupt politicians from that party that were in jail. That was like the excuse, right? And this basically would make a bunch of corrupt politicians get out of jail. So the whole population of Romania was angry, and it looked, I would be angry too. It sounds terrible. So there's these huge protests, like 300,000 people in Bucharest, which is, it's a lot of people, and it's just in the square. It's been there for like 2 weeks now, and a lot of people are starting to resign. So what I found out, people are calling these communists, like in the people of Romania calling these the Communist Party of Romania, and they're calling them the Bolsheviks. So it sounds good, in theory. It's like, wow, they're calling out leftists. That's good, but it's not, because George Soros doesn't care what kind of politics he supports. He supports the right wings. It doesn't matter. It's to benefit himself, basically. And what I saw is that this party, since the 1990s, they were opposed to Soros, acting like Soros is the Open Society Foundations in Romania. So, and I read this book about, he wrote it called Soros on Soros, and he's talking already, like in 1996, about how he tried to globalize Romania, but he couldn't, because the media wasn't there, like the media he needed there, like kind of like CNN version, wasn't there, and it wasn't working for him, so he had to retreat. So he tried to do this, but he's actually like the guy that you see the Berlin Wall falling down, the Tiananmen Square in China, all this shit that happened in the late 80s, that's all like funded by him. So half of the history you see about like what happened 30 years ago, it was all fake history, fake news, fake history. So basically, I want to read to all of you guys. I've been doing lots of research, and so there's going to be a color revolution in Romania. He's trying to take down the government because they tried to take down George Soros there.
Yeah, so why is George Soros going after the government?
Because this government has historically tried to oppose his societies there.
Okay.
His ONGs. These ONGs are actually funding, not only funding refugees to go into Europe, but also they're funding the gypsies, the Roma people, to go all over Europe and ask for jobs all over Europe to destabilize. So you see like gypsies in France and gypsies in Italy. That's George Soros. You go to his Open Society, you see he has a program for gypsies. So it's huge what's happening there. So the Macedonian thing, I saw a documentary. The Macedonian thing, the destabilization process there is actually to open a door from Greece to get all the refugees through Macedonia to Western Europe. And so yeah, there's like two fronts to the Soros thing, because there's the Macedonian one really into refugees. And the other one is the Ukraine-Romania one. And I saw you posted an article that they're moving NATO troops to Romania. It's like Black Sea Day.
Yep.
So you're starting to see like that there's something weird happening there, and there's going to be another government takedown in Romania. Nobody's reporting about this. Not even in Breitbart. I see Breitbart put articles about the protest, but they don't put about like the Soros, how like the party, how the party has talked in public. They said that George Soros organized the protest. And so George Soros is using people, like, it's not like here in the Women's March that it was completely, like, plastic. People in Romania really hate communism. They know what communism is, so they really think that communism is being, like, imposed on them. So they really think, and my girlfriend's from there, and she really thinks that it's bad. Like, she really thinks that the government's bad. I told her about George Soros, so she doesn't think, because she really thinks that the post-communist party wants to fuck with them. So, I just want you to, like, really look into it. That's big. That's Ukraine big, I think.
Gotcha. Thank you for the call. We definitely will look into it more. You know what you can do is start Googling. Do you know how to look into FAFSA records? Foreign agent, FARPA records?
FARPA?
Okay, here. Okay, so Google Doug Schoen, Danger and Play. Here, I'll send you the link right now. So here's what you can do. All right. Everybody who is registered with the foreign government everybody who lobbies for foreign government has to report that. Now, of course, not all of them do, but a lot of them do. So you can go online. I'm going to give you the URL right now, and then you can start running a search for Romania and see who is doing it. So go to FARA, FARA.gov. And yeah, FARA.gov. Start looking in through the financial disclosure reports. It's kind of hard to do at first, but you're a smart kid. You'll figure it out. and look for Romania and see if people who are registered for Romania. So right now, I can tell you right now, well, I mean, here, we can do it right now. I'm on reading a report. So Romania is paying somebody $232,000 to conduct a public relations program to promote Romanian wines within the United States. So some of it is maybe benign, some of it's for tourism, but you'll be surprised. Media relations, here's one. So there's people paying for $100,000 a month for media relations. You'll find things like that. So FARA.gov. Thanks for your call.
Hey, 1 second, Mike. Just one last thing. I just want to tell you about Central European University in Budapest. That's where George Soros trains. Like, he opened up that university after the Cold War ended to train politicians. So all the politicians all over Europe, or at least in Eastern Europe, they all went to that university and got scholarships from him. So you should also look that up.
Will do. Thank you.
No problem. Done. Thank you.
It's funny. Speaking of, he talked about gypsies now have taken over Paris. It's really, I don't want to say it's funny. It's not funny at all, but it's what happens when you adapt the George Soros mindset and you let parasites come in. It's just all crime, but you can't say that. It's not politically correct. You're going to get in a lot of trouble. You got to call them Roma. You can't even call them gypsies anymore. You have to say they're Roma, or else you're hate criminal, hate speech. They mug people because they know people in Paris won't fight back. There was a story in Paris where they had great pictures. The Daily Mail got it. What they do is they'll send the little kids to run after you and pick your pocket because you can't. What do you do if a kid picks your pocket? You can't, right? You can't fight back. I had a personal one. They'll carry clipboards. This is what you'll learn if you go anywhere near the museums. They'll walk around with a clipboard and they'll say they're doing a charity. And they'll try to get you to hold the clipboard and sign it. So the mom will. The mom, you won't believe this. You'll never see this on American TV. They'll never tell you the truth. They'll bring a clipboard. The mom will bring a clipboard. And then she'll say, oh, will you sign a petition? Or will you sign this? Or will you donate money? And the point is, it's a fake petition. It's a fake fundraiser. But they want you to grab it and then write your name. Because then while you're doing that, the kids will come and pick your pocket. Right? You'll never see that in the media. So when you go through there, if you say no, get away, they actually get aggressive now. They aren't human in the way that we think of other people as being. They don't interact the way you would expect other people to interact with you. If you say, hey, no, I don't want anything to do with you, they get in your face and they try to chase you down. So you have to actually say, no, get the F out of my face right now. Otherwise, they'll keep pushing until they're able to rob you. It's become a huge problem in France, but of course you can't talk about it. Because if you tell the truth about anything involving an immigrant or a refugee population, your career is over, your life is over. So there's a lot of rapes going on, a lot of robberies, a lot of muggings. There's now the Eiffel Tower, they need a bulletproof wall around it. That's what Soros did to Europe. That's what George Soros did to Europe. That's what Hillary Clinton wanted to do to America. That's what got me involved in politics, because I hate politics. You should know it by now. I hate the politics, the day-to-day stuff. But if we didn't do something about it, I watched what happened to Europe. A lot of people are afraid to go to Paris now even. There have been travel alerts in South Korea. Remember, South Korea is the good part of Korea. They're saying, don't go to Paris. You might get robbed. You might get beaten. You might get burned alive. It's getting crazy out there. People wouldn't even believe it because the media doesn't want to tell the truth. Hey, Jason, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Mike?
Doing well.
Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Hey, yeah, I'm out here in Florida getting ready to go to the Trump rally
Oh,
tomorrow.
great. What time you going? You got tickets already?
Yeah, I got tickets. I worked about 10 of them, and I do like VIP security down in front and everything. So it's been an interesting experience. But one of the things I've really learned is, I went to my first one in Tampa when the media was like totally brainwashing everyone into thinking, Trump is this, Trump is Hitler, Trump is this, all these
conservatives are bad people. I went to Tampa. I saw the 10 or 12 crazy protesters. I was kind of open-minded at the time. I didn't care who won the primary. I was going to support whoever won on the Republican side. But anyway, I saw these really nasty, vile protesters, like 12 of them. My mind just completely opened, and I'm like, holy cow, everybody in this country is being programmed by this propaganda 1984 media operation going on. So anyway, I've worked 10 of these things. I'm going tomorrow, going real early to work this thing. But really what I want to talk about is like how we strategize for 2018 and 2020 elections, because the biggest thing that we have to work on right now, in my mind, is getting these two next elections won so that we can get the Supreme Court set for the next 40 or 50 years, because the Supreme Court now has all the power. They can change the laws, at will by changing what they believe to be true and false in the different laws. So I'd kind of like to get you to expound on the power of the Supreme Court, how they're basically this all-powerful entity now, and how important the elections are going to be in the next 2018 and 2020. And I'll just let you talk.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about it before, which is that in 2018 we're going to have to get aggressive, because a midterm election, I believe they have the general turnout for a midterm election is 36% of the turnout for the big election, right, the presidential election. What that means is the most dedicated, the most ferocious, the most audacious are going to win. Right now, there are women's marches. The left is moving, and they are hitting it hard. They may lose momentum by the 2018 elections, but we would be fools to dismiss what is happening and to disregard what they're doing. What do we need to do? People need to have local meetups all the time. That's why I'm having this after party in DC this week, or I guess next Friday, the coming Friday. We have to network more grassroots organizations. We have to run our slate of candidates in the vulnerable districts for the Democrats. But moreover, the Republicans who oppose Trump, we have to get them out of office too. So what is the answer right now is networking. Networking. Why? Because once you have the network, you can do anything with it. Networking is a lot like a platform, right? Once you have a podcast or a website or whatever, then you can do anything with it. So once you have the network, you can do anything with it. So my advice to everybody is get out there tomorrow when you're at that rally in Florida, meet as many people as you can, get as many business cards as you can, start private Twitter message groups with one another, or text message groups, or Facebook groups, or something. But don't just go there to watch Trump. Go there to meet each other. Thanks for your call. Yeah, networking is everything. Your network, I saw a good quote on it, which is that your network is compounded gains. It's compounded interest. Right now, because I have a bunch of different platforms, right? I have blog, podcast, YouTube, books, Twitter, Facebook now I'm building up, plus people I know. Once you have it, then you can do anything with it. And once you have it, you can do way more with it than you ever thought you could. Very important to build your network. Every time you go to a Trump rally, don't just watch Trump. Watching Trump should be way down the list of priorities. The priority is, hey, who's this guy to my right? Who's this girl on my left? Hey, what's your name? Where do you live? Where are you around? Let's keep in touch. Let's expand our network. And then as you build these bigger networks and you have these bigger network effects, then suddenly the election's coming up in 2018, the midterms, and you know all these people. And then they know people, and next thing you know, we're destroying the opposition. But you got to build that network, and you got to build it now. It won't do any good to start building that network in 2018. We got to start building it today. Next caller is from Hawaii. How you doing?
I'd love to talk about Donald Trump's tweet tonight, or this afternoon, we talked about the fake news media is not my enemy, is the enemy of the American people. So I see the mainstream media response to this is apoplectic. They're losing their minds. I don't think they really understand what he's trying to say. What people need to understand about Donald Trump, and you know this, and all of us on this call know this, is that he's one of us. He knows about the nonsense that's been going on for the last 20 years, and that's why he ran, to save the country. And what he's really saying in that tweet is the unholy alliance between the MSM, the CIA, and the military-industrial complex must end. And proof of that is every Western mainstream media report on Syria the last 5 years has been utter bullshit. None of it's true. I've been analyzing it and studying ISIS. In 2014, when ISIS popped up, I wrote a blog about we need to ask some simple questions. Where did these people come from? Where did they get their money? How come the greatest military force in the country can't find them? But there were all sorts of questions I asked Mike. And the mainstream media never asked any of those questions. Instead, they brought McCain and Lindsey Graham on to talk about the threat, which they helped arm. I mean, we all know now that ISIS is basically a creation, and the rebels have been armed by the U.S. to topple Assad.
By the CIA. I mean, we know for a fact, Special Forces, I've linked to this, Special Forces have blown the whistle on this, that the CIA is trying to force our Special Forces soldiers to train ISIS, but they call them moderate rebels. There's been major whistleblowers trying to get the message out. I've been trying to get the message out. You'll notice, too, that now that the ISIS has been toppled in Syria because of Russia's help, and Russia's been doing great humanitarian work, where's the media now? When's the last time you saw the media in Syria, sir? That's not a rhetorical question. When is the last time you saw the media in Syria?
I agree 100%. I mean, proof positive of what Trump is talking about is the lack of any news-breaking story to expose the scandal. Cy Hirsch wrote a piece on this, and other non-MSM reporters who've been banished tried to expose it, and it gets thrown in the dumpster. So proof positive of what Trump is saying is the fact that this isn't the biggest scandal since Iran-Contra. It's not Mike Flynn, it's this. And I will tell you, we all know that they went after Flynn. The CIA is involved in, parts of the CIA are involved in trying to get rid of Trump and create this Russian, mental health hysteria issue so that they can try to impeach him. Flynn was specifically targeted because he knows about what happened in the Mideast. He was fired by Obama because he was starting to blow the whistle on it. I'm sure you saw the Al Jazeera interview where he basically said, Obama is arming ISIS. I mean, it was couched in very politically correct terms. But the bottom line is this president is under attack, and that tweet he put out, if you really know how to read it, is the mainstream media is not our friend, it is our enemy, because they let this bullshit go on.
Yeah, you're right. I've said it before, and people are now believing me. I said the American media is a terrorist organization. And people go, Mike, people are always telling me, whenever people talk about me, they use the word over. You're being over dramatic, you're overstating it. No, I'm just ahead of the game. The American media is a terrorist organization.
And look, you got a big platform, and, I think we need, you've already tried to get the message up, but I think we really need to challenge the MSM and say, hey guys, why is President Donald Trump wrong here if you didn't even bother to look at this scandal, which is going to be coming out, and it is true? You are fake news because you never even looked at it.
I agree. Thank you for your call. Very important.
Take care.
Very important. There's a Syria. You actually have to watch Twitter now for the real news. I'm going to see if I remember her name. I'll see if I have her account. Sarah is her name. So for news on Syria, I follow an account called Sarah Abdallah. And her Twitter handle is at SAHOURAXO. I'll say that one more time. SAHOURAXO. AXO, Sarah Abdallah. I follow her for the news on Syria because she is there and actually telling the truth about what's happening in Syria, which is that since Assad came, first of all, Assad was democratically elected. I thus find it interesting that everybody's talking about rigged elections, talking about Russia rigging our election, Russia hacking our election. Meanwhile, the WikiLeaks have shown that the CIA is trying to hack the French election. The CIA is trying to hack the Syrian election. Well, now that ISIS is being beaten in Syria, where's the news? Where's the news? People are living good lives in Aleppo. Well, they're not living good lives, but in Aleppo they're rebuilding. Where are the news of the people rebuilding Aleppo? You're not going to find that. And that's why, again, they are fake news. They get people murdered. Nobody is killed in the history of the world, or the modern world. Genghis Khan. We got to think about Genghis Khan. In the history of the modern world, no organization has been responsible for more deaths than the American news media. You're going to say, Mike, that's outrageous. Well, how did Stalin get to power? Who covered up Stalin's gulags? Our media was communist. Remember that. Our left-wing media was communist. They covered up for Stalin, which allowed him to massacre people. They covered up for Mao. They put Castro in power. The New York Times did. They made him seem like he was more cooler and iconic and powerful than he was. They put Che Guevara in power. Our fake news media has led to more deaths than any other organization in the modern world. Louisville, Kentucky, how you doing?
Hey, Mike, this is Roger from San Antonio.
Gotcha.
And, I'm from, RSBN chat. And I quickly wanted to, there's one historical perspective and then a couple reports that I wanted to do. The historical perspective, you're talking about the young gentleman before me, he talked about, for the last 20 years. This has been the collusion between the media and not just the CIA, but all the intel agencies has been going on for over 55, 60 years. I mean, they not only took out, JFK, but they character assassinated him ever since. And it came out in the church committee hearings in 75. That's how Operation Mockingbird was known. So this has been going on for a long time, and it's just now that folks are actually realizing it. And so that's the talk about the nexus. And just quickly, we had our local Act for America chapter had hearings at the Capitol in Austin on radical Islam, and I was talking to a Washington Post reporter, Abby Hotz-Lodner. She was doing an interview, and she interviewed me. And here's one of the questions she asked me, Mike, is, okay, why are you pushing for the bill to designate Muslim Brotherhood as a terror group? I mean, what good does it do? They've already been exposed. And I said, well, that's like saying, why declare Al-Qaeda a terror group? Because all the hijackers are dead. I mean, this is the kind of questioning that this lady, this so-called journalist reporter was doing. And then she did a whole bunch of hit jobs on Washington Post about our hearings and all the great things that happened, all the fantastic speakers. And she was actually retweeting what CARE's member, one of their founding members was tweeting. She was retweeting that guy about, Islam being a religion of peace and all of that, all of that Satya nonsense. So that's that. And then I just wanted to, I don't know if you saw this, Mike, but a former Twitter engineer actually tweeted his belief that the most important thing professional communities can do is to make it difficult to be a conservative.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that tweet.
Yeah, and to follow that, I run a Trump meetup in San Antonio. We're almost 200 folks here. And about 4 days ago, all of us, we got emails from meetup, with the headline, resist. The subject, resist. And essentially what it said was, we encourage everyone to go out and resist Donald Trump. So, I mean, I got all my members obviously were outraged, and so I replied back to them, and their response back to me was, Twitter is a social community, and we would like everyone to be involved in the social justice movement. This is what Meetup is actually doing. So, and I've been going back and forth with them, and I asked them, how can you support a violent fascist group? And I sent them the links of all the violence at all these resist organizations, and they said, well, we're not responsible for that. There's hundreds more that have no violence. So that's what Meetup's doing. So just a quick report on that. And finally, thank you so much for standing up and supporting RSBN. I mean, my RSBN, the folks there on chat, this is like no other community. These are patriots, super well informed. There are some great people there that actually do their own shows. So, so thank you so much for pointing out what YouTube has been doing. It is clearly there is something going on there, and we need to get to the bottom of that. So
thank you. Yeah, not to interrupt you. So what this caller is talking about is YouTube has been throttling Right Side Broadcasting Network's subscribers. So tomorrow will be a big test. We know that when Right Side Broadcasting does a Trump rally, that they get tens of thousands of live viewers. Well, we also know that Right Side has almost 250,000 subscribers. But when their shows go live, whether it's Bill Mitchell's or mine, you only get a few hundred watching. Something's going on. But you're right, we need to support Right Side because they did great work, and they're going to keep doing great work, and it's tough to make it in the media biz. Thanks for your call.
Yes. Thank you.
Pennsylvania, how you doing?
Good, Mike. How you doing?
Doing well.
Hey, I'm wondering what liberal globalists should we and Trump be most worried about in 2020?
The one we don't know about. That's kind of my tongue-in-cheek response. George Soros is an old man. He's not long for this earth. Alex Soros is his heir apparent, and if you go on Alex Soros' social media, his Instagram, Barack Obama, when he was president, was making personal house calls to Alex Soros. Alex Soros is also getting his PhD at Berkeley. Berkeley had those massive riots, remember, when Milo went to talk?
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, I think Alex Soros is going to be like his dad, but even more evil. He's also a spirit cooker. Alex Soros has been with pictures with the Maria Abramich, the Satanist from the Spirit Cooker. So Alex Soros is going to have Daddy Warbucks money, and Alex is a truly evil guy. So he might be the person that we're going to have to worry about.
All right, what about candidates that we should be worried about the most?
Who knows? 4 years from now, who knows, right? Right now, the Democratic National Committee wants to make a former president of CARE, which has connections to Islamic terrorist organizations, head of the DNC. I might not be that worried about 2020, but so much can happen in 4 years. Right now, in the world we live in, what is going to happen in 4 months? Who knows? People are talking about Cory Booker in 2020. Maybe, who knows what is going to happen? So much can happen in 4 years that we won't know. The next 4 months are actually harder to predict because, as you can see, everything is moving really quickly. So we're going to have to wait and see. The bigger thing we have to worry about is 2018. We're going to have to think about what Republicans we want to get out of office because we're going to run primary challenges against them. That's the bigger fight. Thanks for your call.
All right, well, thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Have a good night.
You too.
Right now, the world is moving so fast that I can't see 4 years ahead. 4 days ahead. Think about it. 4 days ago, General Flynn had been fired, and now it turns out that Mike Pence was a victim of fake news. Mike Pence got mad at General Flynn, but Mike Pence was a victim of fake news. He believed what the Washington Post actually wrote. That's Mike Pence for you. And now we realize that was a total hoax, and now Trump is going back on the holy war against the media, which we needed, the crusade against the media. 4 days. So 4 years from now, I got no idea. Especially because the DNC is imploding. Now, the activist base part of the Democrats and the left, they are on fire. The Women's March, they are moving. They are making moves. Meetups, they are making moves, okay? But the DNC as an organization is floundering. They're doubling down on identity politics. They are ineffectual. There might not even be a functioning Democratic National Party in 2020. They may have cannibalized itself and it may have imploded like termites. So 4 years, that is a long way away. Ohio, how you doing?
Doing all right, Mike. I watched Stefan Molyneux's video, Why Free Speech is All That Matters, talking about the only way to, permanently remove, bad ideas from society is to continually bring them in the face of, good arguments, not to just, use force to silence them. So, if that is correct, and I would like to know if you think that is correct, would it also be the best objective for taking out fake news to just continually bring up their bad points, their bad arguments, with better data and better arguments, and not to try to ever, threaten them with legal action?
Great question. Before I answer it, everybody who's watching it, make sure you hit the like button. So YouTube has been definitely playing games with the Right Side Broadcasting Network, and manipulating its viewership numbers are not what they should be. This network, every show on Right Side should be doing 50,000 views per video, and it's not happening. So we have to find a way to get through to YouTube. Let them know it won't stop. So be sure, if you're watching it right now, click the like button. Just keep tapping. Well, I think you can only tap it once. On Periscope, you can go. Just tap it. Keep tapping it. Well, don't keep tapping it because then I think it undoes it. Hit the like button. However that works on YouTube, hit the like button. As to the question, ultimately I believe, and I think most of us believe, in America anyway, people are for the most part good people who want to do the right thing. We might disagree at the margins. What does good mean? Does good mean universal health care? Does good mean with this? Right, you can argue at the margins, but most people in America are good people who want to do the right thing. If you expose good people in America who want to do the right thing to bad ideas, they are not going to say, oh wow, I now want to do these bad things. They're instead going to think, this is terrible, I don't want this to happen. We need to not adopt this idea. Expose people in their loony ideas. That's what we do. What do? I want Lena Dunham and Amy Schumer and Seth Rogen and Josh Whedon and Michael Moore. I want them on TV every day. Please. Please. CNN, New York Times, MSNBC. I want Lena Dunham going on TV every day on the Today Show talking about intercourse, and Maria Shriver, who was a Kennedy, you'll remember, freaking out. I want Lena Dunham going on TV to talk about her herpes and her venereal diseases, how she wishes she had had an abortion, how her only regret is that she'd never had an abortion in life. I want them. Why? Because that's how we win. I want the truth. Because we're on the right side of history. Our ideas are true. Please. I want Seth Rogen and Amy Schumer. Bud Light had to cancel that advertising campaign early. Talk about a sign of the times. Bud Light, some idiot millennials in the marketing department, thought it would be a good idea to have Amy Schumer and Seth Rogen have a commercial about the fake pay gap to the Bud Light demographic. I work in marketing. I could have seen that a long way away, how bad that was going to feel. I want that to happen, though. I want Bud Light commercials talking about the pay gap, lecturing Americans, telling Americans they're trash. Please Please, I want to tell Americans that white people are evil. Please, let them on TV. Let them on TV. Let the people who advocate for genocide of an entire race of Americans, put them on TV. That professor from Drexel who said he's dreaming of a white genocide and that he fantasizes about the Haitian slaughter of parents, of children and women, right? In Haiti, there was a revolution where slave owners were killed, which is, of course, fine. If you're enslaved and you kill the slave owner, come on, get out of here. But what turned him on the most is that even after the slave owners had been killed, innocent women and children were raped and sold into slavery. And that's what he wants for America. I want that guy. I don't want him censored. I want him on TV. I want him to go on CNN and say, you know what, Jay Taper, I'm a big fan of yours, and I'm here to talk about why I want women and children raped and murdered and sold into slavery. Please, bring him on TV. Expose people. That's what, because I have nothing to fear. So that is the answer. These people need to get more publicity. Let the American people know what the left is really about. Because you'll notice the left, they have to lie. Isn't that funny? That's why we call it fake news. They have to lie about what the left is about. Right? Because if the media told the truth about what the left wants for America, it'd be over. They'd have no chance. If what the media told the truth, which is that the left wants rape, murder, homicide, terrorism, slavery, people would say, well, we're not going to ever vote for a Democrat again till the Democrats readjust their values. So the media, they have to lie. They have to try to say we're the ones out there being bad. They have to have hate crime hoaxes because we don't even do anything bad. I mean, think about that for a minute, which is that we don't do anything bad. And rather than just say, wow, these guys are the good guys, and rather than the fake news media say, you know what? Boy, these guys can be mean on Twitter, but they aren't committing any crimes. They aren't rioting. They aren't shutting down speeches. That would be true news. True news would be like, hey, these Trump people are actually pretty good. These right-wing people are pretty good people, on balance. You always got some misfits or whatever, but on balance, they're good guys. What do they have to do rather than tell the truth? This is powerful. This is a powerful insight into why the media is the enemy of the American people. They have to hoax us. They have to hate crime hoax us. They have to put swastikas and they don't even know how to draw them. You think that they would actually do an art practice or something, learn how to draw a swastika. They have to claim that we're ripping off the hijabis while they're on the subway because they're all hoaxes. It's all fake. They have to frame us because we are so upright and so virtuous that they can't pin anything real on us. That is why fake news is and then when they do that, when they lie about us, they make us a threat, right? When the fake news media lies about us, then it allows people with the ball bat to think, well, hey, I should probably smash that person in the head because that person is the kind of person who would rape a hijabi off a young girl for no reason, which we would never do. As a Trump supporter, an American, if I were on a subway and I saw somebody try to rip off the headscarf of a Muslim woman in America, man, that would not last 1 second around me. No way, or any Trump supporter. Ludicrous, right? Because those are the kind of people we are. But the media, they have to lie about us and frame us of things we didn't do, and that makes us a target for violence. So yes, the fake news media is our enemy. They are a terrorist organization. Don't forget it. I think we got time for one more call. One more call, and then we got to go. Unknown caller. All right. Just listening, I guess. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
Hello?
Yes, we hear you. You're live.
I'm not actually in my home country, but I've been watching and keeping in touch with the immigrant situation. But I'm looking at... Hello?
Yeah, we're listening.
Oh, I'm looking at also, because I follow you too here, and I'm looking at why don't we, this movement that we have like our own day books. Now, the Bilderberg, like all the YouTube, personalities like Q or Milo get together and create like a conference with the churches, with the counties, with the sheriffs, and let's start working together like that because we're sort of like behind.
My friend, you're preaching to the choir. That's why I planned the deplorable, even though that's why I planned the biggest party during Inauguration Week. That's why I'm having an after party in Washington, D.C. this Friday. You're right, we're 10 years behind the left on organizing. That has been our biggest weakness, and is why we have been losing when we should be winning. So I 100% agree. We need our own Davos. We need our own networking groups. We need our own meetups. We need our own everything, and we need to start those locally. That's why an earlier caller said, what can we do, Mike, to prepare for the next elections? And I told him, connect with Trump supporters in real life. Keep in touch. Make those gains. Make those network gains. And then we have a shot. So you're 100% right. Thank you for that call.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, so wise, I mean, I can go on all day about why don't we have more news sites? Why don't we support more right-wing media? Why don't we have a Davos or Bilderberg or some kind of thing for us where we can go and have our own think tanks? Because our think tanks, I don't know what the heck they're doing. Those big think tanks with all those $100 million budgets, what are they even doing? What do they do? Do they do anything? I'd sure like to know. Right? I never hear from these people. What do they even do? Why would anybody give any money to a think tank? Doesn't make any sense anymore. They're ineffectual. We need more grassroots movement. Okay, we got real quick call. You got about 15 seconds, sir. How you doing? Or ma'am. Whatever the case may be.
Hello, Mike. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're from Vancouver. How you doing?
Hi, very good. Man, I've been reading on the internet today speculation that the National Guard may reinforce Trump's deportation order. And I'm listening to, I'm reading people, Antifa posters saying that they want to work to interrupt this enforcement. Do you feel that a Jeff Sessions-led Department of Justice is going to grow a pair and actually stand up to these guys?
Well, I don't think that memo is actually real. I think it was a fake memo designed to smoke out the spy or the mole within the organization. Jeff Sessions, though, is going to go after Antifa that much. I can't tell you how I know it, but bad things are coming. The domestic terrorist group known as Antifa, the FBI knows about it and they're looking at it. Thank you for your call. Appreciate it.
Big fan. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thanks for listening in to The Right Mindset with Mike Cernovich. Before you go, be sure to like the video. Why? Because YouTube is messing with Right Side Broadcasting Network, and we need them. We can't lose any more media outlets that are on our side. We need more, not fewer, okay? So be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to Right Side Broadcasting Network and hit that little bell for the notification. But right now, just make sure you hit the like button. Thank you for watching. I'm Mike Cernovich, DangerandPlay.com, Gorilla Mindset. You can find my books about Donald Trump, mindset, emotional control, health and fitness, even personal finance. This is all in there. You can find all those on Amazon and paperback, Kindle, audio. And you can find me here on The Right Mindset. I will talk to you on Monday, same time, 7 p.m. By the way, post your comment right now because I will hang out and chat for a couple more minutes. I gotta let the producer go. It's 11 p.m. this time. But I will read your comments. Do you think I should change the time of The Right Mindset? Should I have it at 9 in the morning, 11 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 1 p.m. in the afternoon, 5 p.m., 8 p.m.? You tell me, and I'm going to do the best to make that happen. Because we want to have the best show for you. Thanks for tuning in. Mike Cernovich, DangerandPlay.com, Gorilla Mindset. Hit the like button, post your comment. I will see you on Monday.